Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time Traveler's Handbook. Today we are going to be starting to talk about the episodes for the 13th Doctor, starting with Season 11, Episode 3, titled Rosa. Spoilers ahead. In this episode, the Doctor and her companions arrive in 1955 Montgomery, seeking to stop the time-traveling criminal Krasko from preventing Rosa Parks from influencing the American Civil Rights Movement during the Montgomery bus boycott. Rosa has two interesting elements of time travel that I want to talk about here. One centering around Rosa Parks and the event that sparked the civil rights movement in the United States, and one centering around the character Krasko, who is attempting to sabotage history and stop the event from happening. Let's start with Rosa Parks. As we know, this is a well-documented, very famous event that happened in our history, and this is what you would consider in our reality a fixed event. This thing had to happen because it had so much impact on the way that civil rights movements were shaped from that point on. And the world is much different now because of what happened on that night. In this episode, they are very specific about the specific events leading up to the moment that Rosa Parks was supposed to be moved on the bus and refused to. Such as she has to get on the bus at a specific time, the bus has to be nearly full, she has to sit on a certain row, she has to refuse to move, the bus driver has to be a specific person, and she has to be arrested for her actions of not moving. Which brings an interesting aspect to the idea of fixed events, that they're not just one single moment that has to happen. A lot of things have to be in place in order for these things to happen the same way every time. Now, obviously, there's some sabotage going on, which means that fixed events can still happen, even if there is time traveler interference that is trying to prevent it from happening. I find it interesting that they were able to still cause the fixed event to happen, because in this universe, it is entirely possible that this event just changes and things are changed forever. And that has happened before in other Doctor Who episodes. They've changed something and it sparks something different for the future of mankind. So this plays a lot on the idea that time travelers went back to sabotage an event, but time travelers also went back to fix an event. And so without the interference of time travel, this event might not have happened at all. But in the Doctor Who universe, sabotage is a very possible thing, and it can result in a branching timeline or an alternate universe or something like that, to the effect of one small change rippled out and changed everything else. However, with the nature of how the Doctor time travels and things like that, she is gravitated towards events that are really impactful to mankind, protecting those things from sabotage, basically. And because of the way that the time travel works here, they're saving the day means that there can no longer be any further sabotage, because a time traveler can't go and retrace their steps. And at least in this branch of reality that they are in, that event can never change. Now, if someone did go back and change that reality, most likely it would branch off and they wouldn't even know. A lot of times when a time traveler isn't involved with another time traveler's doing, the events that they change don't end up affecting the other time traveler, because they just end up in separate universes, essentially. So that's all I wanted to talk about with this episode. Next time we're going to talk about Demons of the Punjab, which explores more of how this universe functions on a causality level. And I look forward to seeing you then. As always, thank you for listening.